I want the real story to be talked about because as a Lions franchise, we have had to endure so much. 30 years since we've hosted a playoff game. First time ever in Ford Field. First time we've won the division since 1993. All of this kind of stuff. And then, of course, when we make the playoffs, the golden boy, the greatest quarterback in franchise history, Matt Stafford, at least of recent memory. All right. Shout out to Night Train Lane. All right. But like the greatest quarterback in Lions history is coming back to play us in that first playoff appearance. And the story in the national media and quite frankly, even in Detroit, has been written wrong. So in this video, I want to talk about the real story because everybody's talking about Matthew Stafford coming home. Everybody's talking about Matthew Stafford returning to Detroit. Everybody's having this conversation. How about this? How about Jared Goff going against his old team? Jared Goff leading the Lions to a 12-5 record while the Rams come in surprisingly at 10-7. How about the Jared Goff, Sean McVey dispute and how Sean McVey basically threw him out with the bathwater? How about that kind of stuff? All right, let's talk about these stories. But the stories with Goff and McVay are flipped, and the stories with Stafford are flipped. And here's what I want to say before I get too nitty-gritty on this, because I'm not going to be nice to the Stafford family. I love Matt Stafford. I'm thankful for the time he put in Detroit. I want to be clear. I don't love Matthew Stafford this week. It's football. I want my team to win. I want the Detroit Lions to prove they are not that team that they were when Matthew Stafford was here. I want Matthew Stafford to realize that he left a team that was on the verge of changing, and I understand that he didn't think it because it was the whatever umpteenth regime that he had to endure. I get that at that point in his career. I'm not even mad about that stuff, but I want him to realize it. Matthew Stafford went to LA. He won his Super Bowl. I'm happy for him. I'd be happy for him if he won another Super Bowl. Not this year. Not going through Detroit. And then there's fuel added to the fire. You've seen the jersey ban, right? We've all seen the jersey ban, all right? A random post went up. At the time, I'm reading an article that was posted last night. It was at the Detroit Line. All right. Remember that whole thing where it was the Detroit Lions and there was that funny lady who redid the graphic and all that kind of stuff. All right. Urge fans in a pair of posts on Monday not to wear Stafford jerseys. It got 4,000 likes. More than 4,000 people are going to watch this video. That is not a lot of likes. They put the same post on X and it has 12. So let's not sit here and act like this is a worldwide sabotage of your husband. And here's what Kelly Stafford had to say. All right. She said, well, this is sad because it's completely opposite of how we feel about this city. But Matthew has always been the bigger person and will continue to be that. Praying for an incredible game with 0 injuries. Okay, Kelly, love you. It's clear you don't get it. Like, I think your husband, I get it. Defend your husband at all costs, right? But this is a random group of people that are in no way, shape, or form associated with the Detroit Lions. It's a random post that has only gotten 4,000 likes in a time that fans have never been more excited. That's not a lot of likes. All right, that's not a lot of likes. I promise you there are far more than 4,000 Matthew Stafford jerseys that have been purchased, and it's a lot harder to go spend over $100 on a jersey than it is to click a like button. All right, this fan base loved your husband. We supported your husband, and now he's coming back, and we don't want him to win. Like, we don't want to support him and the Rams, the Detroit Rams, whatever you want to call it. We want our team to win. So let's go look at the other side of it. Do a real quick search for Jared Goff, Sean McVay. You search Matt Stafford, and Detroit Lions, and all it is this stuff and this narrative about how there's the banned Stafford stuff and Kelly Stafford's sad. You do this kind of stuff, and it's all the Rams side of it. It's just like, oh, I'm sorry, right? Like, this is sad for us. And now you have the other side of it, all right? Rams head coach Sean McVey has appreciation for former quarterback Jared Goff. Sean McVey has been really impressed with Jared Goff. All right, like, it's all of these things, and it's talking about how, oh, now Sean McVay's like, yeah. And I remember Sean McVay flat out coming out after this all happened and saying, I handled it wrong. Like, it was on me. He talked about how he didn't adjust in his offense. He talked about how he was stubborn. He talked about how the way in which he said goodbye to Jared Goff was not appropriate. Like, Jared Goff, he mentally destroyed him for a season. And now here we have Jared Goff, mental toughness to the max. Honestly, even after a couple bad games this year, he came back and he was fantastic. And we get to see it put to the test. But here's the hard part for the Detroit Lions. All right, we don't know what Jared Goff's mental toughness is in the playoffs because we haven't seen it. I'm here to change your mind about that. This is a guy who won playoff games with a broken thumb. This is a guy who took an LA Rams team to the Super Bowl, one step shy of where Matt Stafford ended up taking them. All right, this is a very good clutch quarterback. He always has been. He just needs to have the right environment around him. And I'm telling you right now, he has that environment that is set up for success in Detroit. So here's what I want the story to be. Here's what I want the narrative to be here at Sports Talk Detroit. It's no more Matt Stafford is coming home. It's, how about this narrative? Jared Goff has the opportunity to prove his career as worthwhile. Jared Goff has the opportunity to seize the upper hand in rivalry with Rams. Jared Goff has the ability to defeat the team that gave up on him. How about that? And how about these players rally around that? I guarantee you that's a rallying cry in the locker room for the Detroit Lions. Sorry, I had to say it. For the Detroit Lions. Like, I guarantee that's a rallying cry. And by the way, since we've gotten him, he's put up pretty good numbers. He has had a better 3 years than Matt Stafford has. If you take them all together, he's had a better 3 years numbers-wise. Touchdown to interceptions, all that kind of stuff. All right, Stafford's been good. Stafford is a special talent. We know that. We've always known that. All right, but Jared Goff has worked. He has absolutely worked here in Detroit. We are going to support our guy, Jared Goff. We're just going to do it. All right, we are going to appreciate the technician and the tactician that he is. I understand Stafford's fun. He's a gunslinger. I know Stafford might throw the ball all over our defense. But, hey, here come the Rams in. They have star power. They got Cooper Kupp. They got Matt Stafford, right? They've got Aaron Donald. They got Jalen Ramsey. They have all these stars, and then they have a bunch of no-names in between. The Detroit Lions are a team full of young stars and other good role players. Here's to hoping that the Detroit Lions can take care of business and say, hey, LA, you got your Super Bowl. Matt Stafford, we love you. We're thankful for the time you put in. We're glad the trade worked out for you. We're glad you went and won your Super Bowl and that you stamped your Hall of Fame career. It's our time. It's our time. It's time of the changing of the guards in this trade, in this pseudo rivalry because of the trade, whatever you want to call it. It's time for the Lions. All right. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. See you on the next one.